All right, hello everyone. This is the game everybody's going to be talking about. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash, and I'm really going to rush this first part because there's so much to talk about. You know what I mean. All right. First of all, happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I'm going to get right into this because there's so much to cover, and this is my second take. I found out 15 minutes isn't enough, so I've got to get through to this. All right. So yes, 4-3 Danbury game four. That is the official final. All right. Obviously, Carolina got a lot of offense. They started playing dump and chase, figuring out how to get past that lock system that Danbury had been implementing in their defensive scheme, uh, generating a lot more chances and then a lot more opportunities. So all right, we get right into the first period. All right, Josh Keplinger scores at 3:24 to give Carolina a 1-0 lead. Oops. Problem is, in this series, every game, the team that scores first is the team that ends up in the loss column. But who knew? All right, so Carolina takes the lead at 3:24 and assists to Ford. Then 16:58, Brendan Sheehan ties things up. Feeds from McDonald and Marquezin. It's 1-1 at the end of one. 18-10 are the shots on goal of Carolina. Obviously, Carolina's getting a lot more zone time, a lot more attack time, generating a lot more space. So they're off to a good start until the second period comes. And I saw a lot of people commenting on the Carolina feed. This is beginning to feel like yesterday's game, meaning Friday's game. Uh, Jacob Ratcliffe takes the bull by the horns. First time there's a turnover by Jacob Schnapp in the defensive zone. Jacob Ratcliffe takes feeds from Bennell and Ruiz to make it 2-1 Danbury at 3:14. Ratcliffe strikes again. This time Schnapp got the puck knocked off his stick, and Bennell again set up along with Jared Yao. So Ratcliffe scores back-to-back goals, gives Danbury that healthy 2-goal cushion. We end up in the second intermission, 3-1 Danbury. It's 11-11. Carolina fans are sweating it out. They're going, uh-oh, here we go again. All right, I'm doing good. Not even 3 minutes in. Third period, because this is where all the fun happens. All right, Jan Slok takes a beautiful pass from John Butita. Very Gretzky-esque. it was a thing of beauty. And the pass was more beautiful than the shot. But nonetheless, Slok scores 7:45. It's 3-2, and Carolina's already been generating quite a bit of offense and getting a lot of quality shots against Wilson. As you can see on the board, Wilson made 51 stops. All right, more than 20 of those were grade A chances. So it wasn't just perimeter shots. So Wilson had to work hard, and he earned. Sorry, the washing machine. He earned that first star last night. All right, so it's 3-2. We get to 10:19. Johnny Ruiz on a breakaway. Everybody got caught deep in the Danbury zone except for Ruiz and Joe Kennedy. Kennedy's got jetpacks on his skates, somehow makes it back, ties up Ruiz, cleanly plays Ruiz off the puck. Ruiz awkwardly crashes into the boards and is hurt. Okay, Kennedy skates back in the offensive zone. Danbury touches up. The whistle blows, and Ruiz is still down. Greg Hussey goes over to check on Ruiz. Calls over the trainer, and so the trainer goes. This Ruiz would not return, but this is where everything went sideways for Carolina because they had the momentum going, even though they were still down 3-2. They had the momentum. All right, Ruiz is helped up. The trainer's helping him off. Everybody, both teams, tapping sticks. Glad you see you're okay, Johnny. Until Jacob Schnapp comes off the bench and has a few unpleasant words to say to Johnny Ruiz. Stupidest moment of the game. And so melee ensues. If Jacob had kept his mouth shut, none of this would have happened. So we have two fights break out. There's a whole bunch of scraps. Everybody's squaring off, but there's Yao and Kanachik fighting. There is Ajik coming off the bench to fight Schnapp, who had come off the bench to jaw at Ruiz. So those two get 5 and a game. All right, Yao and Panachik get 5 for fighting. And I mean, Frankie McClendon and Boris Babic are, have their hands around each other's throats on the bench and stuff like that. It was crazy. But anyway, Tucker Firth picks up the extra 2 minutes for roughing. And that is the difference, because now Danbury's on the power play. And, well, Zach Pomelan says, I got this. Wrist shot home for the power play goal and eventual game winner. And it's 4-2. Again, if Jacob had just kept his mouth shut, none of that would have happened. Danbury wouldn't have gone on a power play. And so, Carolina, if you want to blame anyone, I'm sorry, but I got to call it out. Jacob Schnapp's your victim. He was responsible for 3 goals. All right. Anyway. All right. So we get to the tail end of the game. Carolina finally gets their opportunity. All right. 2 minutes for a hold to Riley Robertson. He goes in the box at 16-14. And then in the ensuing power play, Michael Marchesen corrals a puck, tries to ice it, and it just flubs off his stick. It goes into the crowd. Rightfully delay a game penalty. And that's a 17:05. So it's a 5-on-3. Coach Garrett points at Hussey, says, come on off. We're going to make this a 6-on-3. And so only 21 seconds elapsed, but it felt like an eternity in some sorts, because it was just shot after shot after shot after shot. Some were blocked, some were saved by Wilson. But Carolina kept getting the puck to the center point and firing away. Finally, Gus Ford gets the goal, fed by Kennedy and Pastuca. So it's 4-3 at 17:26. All right. The second minor expires and things wind down. Now we get to the really nitty-gritty part. We get to the final 34.7 seconds. Now, in Carolina's feed, their time graphic was, up here. All right. Just as Danbury's was. But anyway, their time graphic was not lining up with the in-house clock. I watched Carolina's feed first. After the game was done, I went back watching Danbury's feed. Okay, Danbury's time graphic stayed in line with the clock, and you could see, okay, each stoppage of play, if there was extra time that was run off, the official timekeeper would say, hey, we've got to add a couple seconds, whatever. The time would be adjusted before the next face-off. So at every face-off, the time was correct. All right. So it gets to that final 34.7 seconds. Carolina is just a buzz in the offensive zone, generating chance after chance after chance after chance. Finally, 13.9 seconds left. Wilson's able to freeze the puck. All right. Puck, and the clock was actually run down to 11 seconds, but it was adjusted to 13.9. All right. So no problem so far. Next face-off, Danbury wins the face-off, immediately ices the puck. Kennedy gets on his horse, gets back, touches up, 8.5 seconds. Again, said 5 seconds, but it was adjusted. 8.5 seconds. All right, next face-off. Clean Carolina win, immediate shot. Wilson stops the puck, freezes it, 5.4 seconds left. All right. Get to the next face-off. The clock never started. However, the official timekeeper has his own clock. That time is accurately running. So remember, you have 5.4 seconds left. Ron Rogel, please forgive me for mispronouncing your name one of those 2 times, did a great job finding a video that has a time capsule right here in the picture. And like a stopwatch. So you have the face-off. All right. Panachik shoots. Puck gets by Wilson. It goes in the net. The elapsed time from puck drop to the puck crossing the goal line is 6.01 seconds. There was only 5.4 seconds left on the clock. The referees made the right call. Game over. Danbury wins 4-3. We go to a game 5 tonight. There was an appeal filed by Soskin, and I guess later on it was dropped. My understanding was overnight sometime that the appeal was dropped. I mean, they were checking with NHL officials on this to verify everything. The officials got the call right. Meanwhile, at the end of the game, we got to talk about this too. A scrap ensues between Matt Bazarin, who of course has not played in the series for Carolina, but he's in street clothes, between him and a couple of crazy fans. All right, one thing that the FPHL needs to do next year for all arenas, I'm not just talking about just Danbury, okay, all arenas, because there's been other incidences in other arenas. There's been incidences in Delaware. There's been incidences in Binghamton. There's been incidences in Port Huron. The FPHL needs to seal off the visitors' locker room and the entry area in all arenas for both the fans and the players' protection. That has to happen. I hope that when they have the GM meetings on Wednesday, that's one of the things that's discussed. What's going on just can't happen. Now I know most fans are very amicable towards visiting players. I've had a lot of nice conversations, pleasant conversations with visiting players. I know some of the other fans that I interact with on a regular basis have gotten autographs from the visiting players, stuff like that. Unfortunately, it looks like that's probably going to have to come in because a few bad apples spoiled everything for everybody else. But for safety, I think this needs to be done. So anyway, so that is the story on the game. Again, it's a 60-minute game. It's a team game. But so you can't point the whole outcome of a game on the clock operator's error or on one player blowing his top. So that's the way it is. You know, I know a lot of people don't like that, but this is a team game. It's a 60-minute sport. And Danbury, even though it was by the thinnest of margins, they hung on. They earned that win. And so, yeah, we go to game 5 tonight, 5 o'clock. This is it. The whole enchilada is going to be decided tonight. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have their own opinions and their own feelings. I feel I have presented this to you objectively and just factually. So, I mean, okay, I admit I'm rooting for Carolina. But when I saw everything, I was like, no, everything turned out right. What was decided was correct. So kudos to Danbury. Kudos to Brian Wilson for standing on his head and turning in maybe his best performance of the year because he was fantastic. All right, so you want to leave a comment? Let me know what you think. Be my guest. Comment down below. Do make sure to hit like and subscribe and continue watching me here. Remember, we'll have a Spotify podcast on Thursday. Hopefully, I can get some information on the GM meeting. We'll also start having some kind of end of the season wrap up stuff that we're going to start doing. And then, okay, so we're going to have a video tomorrow talking about Game 5 and the congratulations to the champion. And then we'll go to a weekly YouTube podcast. All right, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'm Gary Ryan here for the Fed League Flash. Keep your head up. Be excellent to each other. All right, we'll see you later.